this. So this guy's got to really want to live. The guys are going to go in here. We'll get them secured good, and then we'll carry them up to the aircraft with the hoist. And are there any questions I can ask or answer rather? We sometimes have a better idea, but we're prepared. We're still trying to be prepared for anything. Just saying, because you know.
I'm pretty sure if that actually goes down, we'll be flying enough that we'll be.
First off, it's always an awesome experience to go ahead and see an aircraft do what it's designed to do. Being able to go ahead and come into a space, lift people out, that helps us. And in a lot of situations where we can't physically go by ground, we'll have to go through air resources to get people either off mountains or out of limited access areas. And in this exercise, the thing that we found the most beneficial was that by being cut off from the rest of the world because of where we live, having the area sets to be able to come in and medevac people out is an excellent resource. The first thing we learned was the ability to be able to, that we can communicate at the lowest level with our military partners using our civilian ham bands, which is very important because when the world and the situation deems that all the rest of the technology may have natural failures, we found that the ham communication, which is the simplest form of communication, worked between ourselves and the Navy resource that came to us, and then also interfacing with the National Guard to be able to go and interface both military communications and local civilian communications into one seamless branch made our job easier, and was something that we were able to prove that actually works. The biggest takeaway is the ability for all of us to actually come together and solve a problem. Ultimately, when things happen, we know that we are all doers and get things done, but to actually bring us together physically in the same space in a training environment allows us to go ahead and actually prove that it can be done in those situations, and that quote-unquote egos can be set aside and we can actually get the job done taking care of our citizens. We have an asset that's available to us, and that we can truly interact with it as far as how to get it in terms of calling for it, what happens when it actually arrives, and then the capabilities in terms of its on-flight crew, and then also the support services associated with that. The biggest learning lesson is that everything's going to take time. And I think that what we need to do personally as an agency, and then also in terms of our relationship with the military services, is to go ahead and prepare for those first 2, 3, 4 days that we have to take care of ourselves. And then as things come in and the resources are actually delivered, we can then go ahead and work as a partnership to go ahead and help our surviving communities.
We also did some of the landing zone support for some of the aerial resupply and also search and rescue operations that they conducted here. Importance of the communications aspect is really just providing physical assets to help foster communications that don't rely on cell towers and things like that. The United States Marine Corps, just like the other services, is used to operating in austere environments with our own autonomous equipment. So providing those type of assets and incorporating that into the program was important. For the civilians to have exposure to our capabilities and some of the things that we can bring to the table, I think was the biggest lesson learned from what I was able to observe during the period.
The whole idea is to get resources, to share resources, to communicate on common platform with the actual responders that are local until more help can arrive. We are working for the citizen responders, and we're having to establish the communications between the emergency operations centers through the talk to the Joint Operations Center in Camp Murray.